No American player became more famous worldwide than Julian Newman, who was the Justin Bieber of basketball. At the age of 11, Newman had already gone viral by becoming the youngest and shortest player to play in college basketball. You can just cruise through it, it doesn't matter how big or tall you are, he's just so much shorter, faster and more agile. Julian's obsession with basketball began at age 3, and his father trained him as if he were an NBA professional. What surprised me most when watching him play is how well he performed. He had tremendous ball handling and a great feel for the game on the court. Julian dribbled and shot until his arms hurt, and he didn't leave practice until he was making 100 free throws, 200 jump shots, and 200 dribble shots every day. When he was in 5th grade, he played high school basketball, but after scoring 91 points in one game, his father decided he needed a bigger challenge. Because he attended a private school, Julian was able to join the varsity team, thus becoming the youngest college player in American history. Julian was an 11-year-old point guard who was 1 meter 34 centimeters tall and weighed 32 kilos, at least 3 years younger and a meter shorter than everyone else on the court. But, as Conor McGregor would say, Julian wasn't there just to participate, he was there to succeed. Thanks to his supreme ball skills, which he perfected since he started walking, Julian was a magician with the ball. He knew how to throw and was extremely fast. This little guy averaged 12 points, 11 assists and 4 steals per game, leading his school to a 21-6 record. Even though the smallest uniform available was too big for him, Julian was so good that he led the state of Florida in assists and was the second best college passer in the entire country. And, of course, a 1 meter and 34 centimeter phenomenon could not go unnoticed in the internet age, which is why it became a national sensation. Newman appeared on television shows such as The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Good Morning America, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and many others. He appeared in more media than LeBron James did in 7th grade. Newman became the youngest player to record 1,000 career points on the varsity team in 8th grade, averaging 20 points, 10 assists and 3 steals per game. In 2016, Newman made headlines in a highly publicized matchup with 2020 class recruit Kyrie Walker. Julian finished with 52 points in that game, and game highlights garnered over 13 million views on YouTube. In 2019, as a high school senior, Newman's numbers became even more astonishing. Julian averaged 35 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds and 4 steals per game. But if he was so talented and dominant, why isn't Julian Newman in the NBA yet? Well, the first and most obvious reason is that Julian only grew to 167 centimeters with shoes and he is not very muscular either. He thinks of Isaiah Thomas, but he subtracts 7 centimeters and 30 kilos, yes, he is closer to Kevin Hart than an NBA player. The second reason is that Julian is all style with a poor overall game. Although his work ethic is commendable and his ball handling skills are certainly real, Newman's game is much better suited for streetball tournaments and skills challenges than NBA games. If you're wondering how he was able to maintain a 25.9 assist average on a varsity team, it's because he played for a private school against mediocre competition and his father was the head coach. As soon as he faced stronger opponents, Julian struggled due to his size, his vulnerable defense, and his poor understanding of team basketball. Throughout his teenage years, He continued to be coached by his father, and they continued to do the same ball handling drills they did when Julian was 11 years old. Instead of further developing his game, for Julian's senior year, his father started his own team called Prodigy Prep. They also created the sportswear brand, Prodigy, and were featured on the reality show, Hello Newmans, so his father was ambitious and started his own clothing brand and his own league to live through the children of him. Does this situation sound familiar to you? Sim reminds us of LeVar Ball and his children. But unlike LeVar Ball and his children, the Newmans are much shorter and much less talented. Furthermore, Julian acted like a spoiled child on the court and often got into fights. It was no surprise that he received no college offers, not even from Division II schools. Despite that, his father found a way to get attention. Newman's father said that Julian had named him in the 2022 NBA draft, but of course, that was just for the fame. Julian immediately withdrew from the draft because it was the same as if you or I put our names in the draft, completely useless. And given that he is 21 years old, we doubt his basketball career will come close to the NBA. But don't feel bad for Julian and think that all those hours dribbling the ball were a waste of time. His family has earned a huge amount of money from his television appearances and endorsements. Julian has almost 700,000 followers on Instagram and makes money promoting fashion brands. Where is Julian Newman currently located? Well, the player has a lot of money and he doesn't need basketball to live. But he likes to play from time to time, so he participates in skills tournaments and exhibitions with influencers to stay active and earn even more money. He has left professional basketball, and if you want me to bring more college players who failed, like the video and subscribe.